Um, Keyword. It's all we've talked about for the time since we've been back, was carrying over the momentum from the Missouri game, Christmas break. Enjoyed that time, and then just continuing to build. I love the start of our game tonight. Tommy obviously got us off to a really quick start. I thought we did a great job handling their five-way switching and taking advantage of that with our size. And then I thought defensively we were pretty focused. I thought we did a really good job in transition. Obviously, Bam's triple-double, unique. Means you're doing a lot of things really well. He plays much bigger than his size because of his strength. Very good athlete. So, just a game that I wanted our guys to not get too consumed with who we were playing, but more about us doing our job and being diligent, being conscious of doing it our way. And I thought we did a pretty solid job of that.
Yeah, Brad, you schedule a game like this, timing like this, heading into conference season for a very specific reason. So did you get what you wanted to, or what did you see what you liked, didn't like?
Yeah, the only thing I didn't like, and I give a lot of credit to to their kid, the Crawford kid, is I don't like letting one guy who we're really trying hard to guard to get going. That's the disappointing. In the Big Ten, the next 19 games we have, Duke in there, one guy can get going like that. And I thought we relaxed. I thought we had a couple mental breakdowns. So if they're making hard shots, great. But that was the only thing I was pretty disappointed in, from that side of things. We did that a little bit with Gainey in the Tennessee game. Just let a guy get going, and he beat us. And so we've got to be a little more dialed in, a little more focused on that. But I thought we got out of what we needed to. We've been making shots at a really high clip in practice, so it was really nice to see that part of it go in as well.
Brad, there's been 6 Illini players with triple-double. You've had 4 of those over the last handful of years. Any parallels that you see? I mean, Io, Coleman, Marcus, and now Kylan joining that group.
Well, they're all different positions. I guess you consider Kylan, and Io, but it's really hard to do from the guard spot, I think, to get rebounds in a 40-minute college game. I think that you're relying on the others to make shots. And then it's, in a high possession game like today was maybe a little easier, but not to be detracted from. So, I just think it's a heck of an achievement. It speaks to the unselfishness. It speaks to the winning attitude that I think all those guys have had and been a part of in their upbringing. So, my hat's off, and it's really nice to see. I left him in a couple minutes longer than I hoped to, but he deserved that opportunity. It's really hard to do.
Maybe the focus on momentum, since you guys got back together, was that to preempt losing, or did you see something when you came back, or just
No, I just thought it was a really high-level game. Missouri's good. They got a really good basketball team, and we did a lot of things really well through that game, and it was a Sweet 16, Elite 8 type environment, atmosphere. And when you go into league play, the outcome of this game was, I don't think was ever going to be in doubt, and we weren't too worried about that. But it was to not avoid not being sharp and not getting better. We've had 55 or 56 practices to this point, and this group has had very, very few bad ones. And I don't want to start that in a game because it's an opponent who, we told them we were going to win the game, and so I didn't want them to let up. I wanted that momentum to keep moving forward because now the rest of them, none of them are going to look like this one. So very important, and I think we've handled that, and our practices have been really good.
Welcome back, Neil Gontes, Director of Player Personnel. I guess how does that change your job with how the college basketball landscape is changing?
Yeah, it's great to have Neil back. Neil's one of the he's one of our guys. I've known Neil since he was a young kid and in Manhattan, Kansas, hanging around with Tyler, running around the house, and obviously very intelligent. Got his master's degree here in analytics, and then having the experiences he's had, he had tremendous relationships with our players. I'm still very close with a lot of those guys on the team. That was all a big part of it. And then I think as we, he's found winning with the Nuggets, and the job that he has, had with them in terms of elevating up through the ranks there. And I think it's just it's a great opportunity for him. He's so well liked by the players. He's young. He's he's vibrant. He's smart. So I think we can move forward knowing that with all this incoming, we hope April 7th, that there's some changes. But I think with all the upcoming changes, I think that he's the perfect in the perfect spot for that.
Coach, a couple for you in the back, but it looked like you sent us up for Kylan. Did the crowd change your mind there?
Well, I didn't. You're always panicking as a coach that you don't want to. You don't want to do anything to get him hurt. I had Keaton at the table, and it's amazing, how oblivious sometimes I get to things in the moment. I get a thought, and it's, and so I definitely heard the crowd, and what an awesome crowd. I mean, it's why I want to be the basketball coach at Illinois. It was a blustery, nasty, ugly day, and and I look up and those top two rows are slammed, and the Orange Crush tickets are gone, and there's people there, and so I thank them. But yeah, it's really hard to do, and I definitely heard them.
And then it seemed like Will maybe attacked the basket really nicely a couple times today. Was today a good day for him, and how much has he learned from Kylan on if the shots aren't falling, just go get fouled?
I hope a lot. He's really good at it. One thing that Will Riley does at an elite level, and that's get to his spots. And maybe as good as any freshman outside of KJ that we've had here in terms of just being able to get to his spots. And I think as he's understanding that getting fouled is a really, really good thing instead of degree of difficulty or changing release points. Just getting fouled is a good thing. So more importantly, I was really glad to see him because he's a really, really good shooter. I was really glad to see that three ball go down.
Brad, with Neil, what specific responsibilities do you really want him to wrap his arms around? Is there a feeling out process still with some of the new changes coming and how that plays out?
No, I think with Marty here and Josh and there's been a lot of conversations. I think things have changed maybe since we first started talking about this and last spring and through the summer and I think we're going to learn a lot of things on the fly. I think we've got to understand there's going to be tremendous communication not only with your players but with the athletic administration and how things work, with the collectives and how they work, and if we hire third parties to oversee some NIL stuff and those things, and then you've got to report things to the Big Ten. So I think this is going to be something that after the court hearing we'll probably have some better ideas, but I think this gives us a great opportunity to put him in a place and us in a place to maybe get ahead of it a little bit. But this whole dynamic has changed so much, and just since we started talking about it, and my hat's off to the administration, to Marty and Josh for understanding how important we do think it's going to be, and what it's going to look like. I don't know yet. I don't have all those answers. I wish I did, but we're positioning ourselves to be equipped to handle all those responsibilities that will come with that. That's a really crappy answer for a question that probably deserves more, to be very honest with you. I don't have all the answers yet.
Do you nitpick a little bit more in a game like this?
Yeah. I'm a really bad coach in these games, and I am, because I'm a glass half empty guy, too much. I want the game to be played the right way and played perfectly. I didn't like the start of the second half at all. The outcome was never in doubt, but it's always about playing against ourselves and the standard that we set. And that's really hard to get 18, 19, 20-year-old guys to understand that we live by that standard. And if you can let it slip once, then you can sure let it slip twice, and that's what sends you home. And I think we've gotten really good at that over the last few years. But yeah, I want guys to have the opportunity to play, to make me want to play them. And I expect that to I expect them to go in and do what we do, so that, man, I have a decision to make, say, man, I want to play this guy, because he's doing it in practice, he's doing it here. And so, yeah, I'm not very good.
Segueing from that into looking forward now, what do you see from Oregon as we start conference play?
You know, I will say this: I think, won more Pac-12 championships. Dane Altman's one of the best coaches in the country, and that's a very short list. He's had great players. I've not been there, so it's obviously our first trip to the Big Ten West Coast teams. But I know that you're going to get a team that plays really, really hard. I've just seen bits and pieces. They beat Alabama, so that got my attention early. And Dana's going to mix up defenses. He's going to press. He's got really good players. So I expect it to be like every other Big Ten game, just a hard fought. You're going to have to play really hard if you want a chance to win. And yeah, it's a challenge.
You had a trip, sort of an extended trip like this last season, but going from New Jersey to Manhattan is a little different than Eugene to Seattle. What do you looking to forestall with being out on the West Coast for a week, almost a week?
Yeah, I think it's once you're there, you're in your own world. It does that part of it's there. It's that now it's the coming back, and it's that part of it is what makes trips challenging. And you hope you have travel's easy and so on and so forth, or as easy as it can be. You hope you don't have any of those. I was heard about the Raiders today, going to the Saints, and had 12 hours worth of flight issues and got in at 1 o'clock in the morning for a noon game today, and you hope you don't have those issues. But again, they are what they are, and you get there and we'll handle the situations. It's unique because we've got 2 days in between. Yeah, we'll be learning a lot on the fly as well, because we don't usually have 2 game extended periods where we stay out in league play.
Hello, Coach. Question from Lithuania. First of all, season's greetings from a friend of yours, Marius.
Mate, season's greetings to Marius.
And I represent Lithuanian Basketball Federation, so first of all, we want to thank you for doing such a great job with Kasparas Jakučionis. So the question would be, I guess, could he be ready to play men's national team coming summer?
I think he was ready last summer, this summer, anytime he wants to be. Very, very honored to be able to coach him. I appreciate the question. He has exceeded, and to be quite honest, surprised how well he's made the adjustment. that's a tribute to everybody over there who's coached him. He's physically very strong for a young 18-year-old. That's enhanced his abilities a great deal. And, you know, I think that the level of competition that he's played against growing up has made this transition here very easy. But I know how hard he works. I know what a student of the game he is, and I think that we haven't seen his best basketball by a long shot, but he's going to hold his own no matter who he's going up against. He's a very gifted player. Thank you.
Thank you.